There was a time when fire ruled the world, when gods walked among men, and sunlight poured from the heavens like gold. But all flames fade, and as the age of fire waned, the gods vanished, leaving only ash and silence. In this dying world, where light itself had become a memory, there walked a single knight. No crown upon his head, no divine purpose to guide him, only armor polished bright as the sun, and a smile that refused to die. His name was Solaire of Astora, and while others sought glory, power, or redemption, Solaire sought something stranger, something more pure. He sought his own sun, but no one understood what that meant, not even he, and that, perhaps, is what made his story so tragic. Solaire hailed from Astora, a faraway land of knights and faith. But unlike those bound by the decrees of gods or kings, Solaire served no master. He left his homeland behind to wander the dying world, drawn by something he could not name. He was different. Where others looked upon the ruins of Lordran and despaired, he looked up, searching for the light. He believed the sun was more than a star in the sky, but it was a truth, a symbol of purpose, a warmth that the world and its people had long forgotten. And yet there was an emptiness behind his cheer, because to seek your own sun means you have not found it yet. Solaire's optimism wasn't blind, it was defiance. He fought alongside the chosen undead, the one destined to link the fire. Through darkness, blood, and loss, he remained a constant flame of hope. To many, he was a friend. To the world, he was a fool. But even a fool can see what others refuse to. In the end, it wasn't fate that carried him forward. It was loneliness. Through the undead burg, the depths, Blighttown, and in Nor Londo, his armor shone bright against the dark. He fought beside strangers, appearing in flashes of golden light when hope was most needed. A phantom of sunlight, smiling through the endless death. To the chosen undead, Solaire was more than just a companion, but he was a mirror. Both cursed, both seeking meaning in a world that had forgotten what the word meant. But the deeper he traveled, the more that light began to waver. His words grew quieter, his gaze more distant. The skies above Nor Londo, beautiful and false, burned with the same illusion that he'd been chasing. He began to wonder if the light he saw ever existed at all, and yet, he still pressed on. Because to stop searching would mean accepting the truth, that the fire was dying, and that there would be no new dawn. Some say the gods cursed him for his defiance. Others believe he saw something none of us could, a glimpse of the true sun, just before he vanished. Beneath the ruins of lost Xylith, far from the warmth of day, Solaire finally found it, a light, burning radiant, alive. He fell to his knees, laughing. After all his suffering, he had finally found his sun. But the light was no gift. It was a parasite, a creature of chaos, a maggot of flame that fed on desperation. It clung onto him, hollowing out the night who once praised the dawn. When next he was seen, his laughter had turned to screams, his radiant armor now blackened and cracked. The sun he sought burned him from within, consuming him alive. If the chosen undead finds him there, the night attacks with the fury of a fallen god, a man who mistook madness for meaning. And in his final moments, as his own light extinguishes, he dies reaching upward, still chasing the sky. But there is another tale, a more gentle one. If the parasite is destroyed before it takes him, Solaire is saved, and he goes on to stand by the chosen undead's side, waiting at the edge of the kiln of the first flame. He looks to the dying sun and whispers, "If only I could be grossly incandescent." Even then, he still believes. Solaire's story is more than just a tragedy. It's the soul of Dark Souls itself. A world that does not care whether you live, die, or go hollow. A world where meaning must be created, not found. Solaire's sun was never in the sky, but it was in his own heart. He was the embodiment of what it means to go on, to keep searching, even when you know there's nothing left to find. He fought not for reward, not for purpose, but for something greater. Hope without reason. That's why players remember him. Not because he was strong, or wise, or chosen, but because he believed. In a game built to break you, Solaire smiled. And maybe that's what it truly means to praise the sun. The gods are gone, the fire fades, and Lord Duran crumbles into dust. But somewhere across infinite worlds, a golden phantom still raises his arms to the heavens, laughing, radiant, and eternal. He was never chosen, never destined. He was simply Solaire, a knight who refused to stop believing, a man who found meaning not in the world's light, but in his own. And in the end, he found his sun.